Good morning, welcome to our homestead and welcome inside of our greenhouse. One thing that's a challenge with a greenhouse is heating it in the wintertime, especially if you don't have electricity. So today I'm going to show you how we are building this sand battery. Let me show you what I'm starting with and also some footage from experiments that I've done leading up to this moment. Let's go. So here is the main piece of the puzzle. This is a 55-gallon steel drum. This particular drum had fruit juice in it. Make sure you get a drum that doesn't have anything bad in it. No corrosive chemicals, nothing like that. You can find them pretty easily. You can see we've already started filling it with sand and we are going to connect it to these panels, which are directly outside of our greenhouse. If you haven't seen the video on the racks for these, go click on the link at the top of the screen. Before I show you the whole build on the big drum, I'm going to cut to some clips of us doing experiments in small buckets of sand. You're going to be amazed at how well and how quickly sand heats up. And we are also going to talk about some facts about how sand holds heat. This is really important because there are other materials that you can try to heat up, but sand is a really good option, and I'll tell you why. Now, I did experiment in the past with a few 55-gallon drums full of water, and they were painted black. I simply left them in the greenhouse to absorb sun energy. Water has a higher specific heat capacity, and that means it holds heat for a longer period of time. But since water heats incredibly slowly, they never really got that hot and didn't release much heat in the wintertime. For that to work in this 20 by 40 greenhouse, I would have had to have lined this entire side of the greenhouse with drums full of water. It probably would take about 40 drums full of water, stacked too high and about 20 across. That can be done, but is it the best thing to do? Maybe not. So we are attempting to get this sand battery extremely hot, and here's the thing about sand is it can hold higher temperatures before it melts. You can only put about 212 degrees Fahrenheit into water before it starts boiling. That sand won't melt until several thousand degrees have been put into it. In our proof of concept, you'll see how hot the sand gets. It's amazing. Okay, here is proof of concept number one for the sand battery. What we've got is just a little bucket full of sand. We've got a DC water heating element in here, and we've got it connected to two pigtails with 10 gauge PV wire and MC4 connectors on the end. I've got this temperature probe in it, but not touching the water heating element. And then I've got our panel over here. Now be careful when you're doing this. You don't want to connect it under load. So we've got cardboard over it, and it is actually turned upside down. If you have a bifacial panel, you want to be extra careful and have it completely covered up. We're going to lay our panel flat first, and I'll show you that there is a big difference. So right now we're only getting 10.33 volts. Now I'm going to prop the panel up. Now we've got 17.25 volts. This is about a 20 volt panel, so I know if I angle this perfectly, I'll get optimal voltage coming out of it, but that is good for the experiment now. We've been already at it for a minute or two, but we're going to run it and see how long it takes to get up to a good temperature here in this small bucket of sand. And if I didn't show you, we actually started at 63 degrees, so it is warming up slightly already. When I do the full build out, I will put one of these watt meters on the two incoming PV lines to monitor our incoming power. Besides the water heating element, I'm going to also show you this. This is from a small electric single burner stove. And then this right here is a special 10 gauge nichrome heating resistance wire that we are also going to try to see if this is a better option. Now this I can coil throughout the bucket. Okay, it's been about 6 minutes and the temp is already up to 133 degrees and it's climbing fast, 135. It's November here in Texas and I've got this at a pretty steep angle. It's probably 60 degrees and we've topped out at 19.44 volts. When I lay it back down, we're at about 16.75 volts. Okay, we're 19 minutes into the test and we are sitting at almost 300 degrees. Okay friends, we've reached 30 minutes. Let's see what our temp is at. We're sitting at 399 degrees, essentially 400 degrees. I'm going to stop our experiment here because we're starting to get some late day shade and it's just starting to touch the panel and we're going to run out of sunlight. But that probe is about 1 inch away from our heating element. Since we disconnected the panel and it is in the shade, the temp is still going up. We're at about 410 now. We're gonna dig back our sand a little bit. About another inch down, we've got about 240. That's an awesome result. I'm super excited with it. Now I'm gonna move on to the stove element. Okay, the sun is fading. We are gonna do our best. We have our stove element in here. We're gonna see if she's heating up. 23 volts coming in. Hi, thank you for your help. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. We're already up to 142 on the positive side of the element. Down on the negative side, we're still at 95. We're gonna pour the rest of our sand over the top and monitor that heat. Okay, we are about 12 minutes into our test, and our sand, about 1 inch in front of the element, is sitting at 104 degrees. We just climbed to 106 degrees, and I've only been speaking for about 30 seconds. Here we are in the shop with our other heating elements. We've got our stovetop element, we've got the 2 different water heating elements, and then we've got the heating resistive wire. So I'm gonna need to connect this somehow, and the best way that I thought of to do that is with these alligator clips right here. We just connected some silicone wire to it, and the reason I'm using silicone wire is because the heat in the battery is gonna get quite hot, and this wire is going to run down into the sand. I will have all these things listed in the description below the video so you can go grab them if you're going to build a sand battery like this. In addition to that, we need a way to better distribute the heat at night instead of just radiating it out. We are going to need some fans to push that hot air around the inside of the greenhouse. Now let me show you something else we are using in the system. Now you can use several different things, but this we figured was the best option for us. This is the Big Battery Husky 2. It's a 48 volt lithium iron phosphate battery that is made for wetter environments like marine or RV applications. And it's made for colder environments too. It has internal heaters. So to be able to charge this from the solar panels that are out there, we are adding a small Victron charge controller. The nice thing about Victron is they have very small charge controllers. So if you have just a few panels and a smaller battery, you can find something that will work with your system. If you know anything about Victron, you know that they were originally developed for boating. So they're gonna work better in a little bit more moist environment. Then we also have this very small Victron Phoenix inverter, and I can plug my fans into this side. It's very simple to use, and I'll show you how it's connected. If you're interested in checking out any of these 3 components, I have them linked in the description below the video. And remember, if you use our link, you can also get a $50 off coupon code. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna wire this power analyzer so that it can be connected and disconnected at any point. And what I'm gonna use are these male and female terminal disconnects. And these are really nice because they've got this molded cover around them. And the way I'm gonna do this is put 2 females on this side, 2 males on the ends of my external wires. Then on the other side, put 2 males over there, and then 2 females on my external wires. That way, if I want to remove this, I can connect my external wires back to themselves. Okay, we've got most of our setup put together here. We've got it in this wood frame, which is going to sit on the floor of the greenhouse. So the bottom of this frame is made from treated lumber. And then of course we are going to enclose it, but let me show you how the equipment is set up. Okay, we've got our Big Battery Husky 2 here on the bottom, and what's nice about these is they've got this heavy duty rope handle which really makes it easy to move around. We've got our Phoenix inverter over here, and we've got our charge controller right here. I put bus bars up on the sides and a breaker on the positive for the inverter. This battery out on the charge controller goes up to our bus bars. And then from the bus bars, it comes down to our battery. And then our positive and negative from the inverter come out to the bus bars as well. I don't need any communication set up on this. It's just a super simple system. And as you can see on the AC out for the inverter, I've got an inline duct fan, which is going to help us distribute that heat around the greenhouse. I also have another space, obviously, to plug something else in. And make sure you do put a shutoff breaker for your positive for your inverter. We've got our PV line, and this is going straight to the panels. It's going to branch off, and these 2 are going to plug into our charge controller. The other ones will split off and they will power directly our heating element inside the barrel. Now it's time to get all of this in the greenhouse, get our heating element in our barrel, and fill the rest of the barrel up with sand. Okay friends, moment of truth. I've got everything set up here in the greenhouse and I am about ready to put the rest of the sand in the barrel. Some of this is just temporary setting for setup, so I know you're going to let me know about that in the comment section below. But let me show you what I got. Okay, coming in from the panels, I have a disconnect, and yes, I know that will be mounted later. I've also got the energy monitor. We're coming into our charge controller, we've got our small Phoenix inverter, and our battery. Right here, we've got it branched off. Direct DC over to our barrel, and then we've got it branched here to come into the charge controller. You can see I've got another branch, and that can also run directly into the barrel if you want to put an extra element. And in the barrel right now, I've got the nichrome heating wire. Got my thermometer so I can monitor it. And right here in the middle, I've got this sewer pipe with some holes drilled in it. The idea is to draw the hot air out using this inline duct fan. And that is one of the things that is plugged in to the inverter. I will additionally be adding another fan, just a plug-in box fan, that's going to help circulate the heat around the greenhouse. And if you have just a few panels coming in, you can use a splitter like this. This is a 4-to-1 splitter. So essentially you could run 3 or 4 heating elements in your barrel of sand or 2 barrels of sand. It's all up to you on how you want to design it. So that's how we've set things up. If you have any questions, please leave one for me in the comment section below. Let me put the rest of the sand in the barrel, and then I will turn on that disconnect and get the full system up and running. As an aside, you should need 14 bags of sand to fill up a 55-gallon drum. All right, we are up and running. You can hear our fan going. That's running off of the little Phoenix inverter. And our sand temperature is starting at 63 degrees, and I will monitor this throughout the day, put the results in the video. Okay, we're in the middle of the day here. It's about 12 o'clock. We are, if you can see that, hitting 8.5 amps at 73 volts roughly for 630 watts. Our battery is fully charged and we are sitting at about 192 degrees, but that is a few inches away from our heating element. We're about 12:30 in the afternoon. The sun didn't start hitting the panels directly until about 9:30. Well, there you go. That's our sand battery build for our greenhouse. Now, you certainly don't need the inverter, the battery, or the charge controller. But I am trying to take advantage of the electricity in the greenhouse for some other things. You can most certainly run panel direct DC into the sand, as I showed in the tests earlier. I will do some updates on how this is working over time. Now, go check out this video right here, which YouTube says you're gonna love. Have a beautiful, blessed day. See you next time. Bye.